When we talk about breast cancer prevention after 50, we're really talking about something much bigger than genetics. Yes, family history matters. Yes, age matters. But what we put on our plates every single day may be one of the most powerful tools we have to reduce risk. After menopause, a woman's breast cancer risk increases significantly. Why? Because hormone levels shift. Body fat becomes a primary source of estrogen production. Chronic inflammation tends to rise. Insulin resistance becomes more common. And all of these factors can fuel cancer growth. The good news: diet directly influences every one of these pathways. Let's start with fiber, one of the most underestimated cancer-fighting nutrients. Fiber doesn't just help with digestion. It binds excess estrogen in the digestive tract and helps escort it out of the body. Lower circulating estrogen levels are associated with lower breast cancer risk. Women who consume high-fiber diets consistently show reduced risk compared to those eating low-fiber Western diets. And where do we find fiber? Whole plant foods, beans, lentils, chickpeas, split peas. These humble legumes are nutritional powerhouses. They're rich in fiber, packed with antioxidants, and contain compounds that may directly inhibit tumor growth. Even a single daily serving of beans has been associated with lower breast cancer recurrence risk in survivors. Next up, cruciferous vegetables. We're talking broccoli, kale, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. These vegetables contain compounds called glucosinolates, which break down into biologically active substances like sulforaphane and indole-3 carbinol. These compounds help enhance the body's natural detoxification enzymes and may assist in metabolizing estrogen into less harmful forms. In simple terms, they help your body process hormones more safely. Then we have flax seeds, tiny but mighty. Ground flax seeds are one of the richest sources of lignans, plant compounds that have weak estrogen-like activity. But here's the fascinating part: in postmenopausal women, lignans may actually block stronger, more potent estrogens from binding to breast tissue receptors. Studies have shown that flaxseed supplementation can reduce tumor cell proliferation markers in women with breast cancer. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flax seeds a day may make a measurable difference. Now let's talk about berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, they're loaded with anthocyanins and other antioxidants that help combat oxidative stress. Chronic oxidative damage can contribute to DNA mutations, and DNA mutations are at the heart of cancer development. Berries don't just fight free radicals. They may also reduce inflammation and inhibit angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels that tumors need to grow. And speaking of inflammation, we can't ignore the role of excess body weight after 50. Adipose tissue isn't just storage, it's metabolically active. It produces inflammatory cytokines and estrogen. A diet centered around whole plant foods is naturally lower in calorie density and higher in nutrient density, helping women maintain a healthy weight without restrictive dieting. Whole grains are another key player. Unlike refined grains, whole grains contain fiber, antioxidants, and phytonutrients that work synergistically. Women who consume more whole grains tend to have lower levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of systemic inflammation, and improved insulin sensitivity. Lower insulin levels matter because insulin isn't just a blood sugar hormone. It's also a growth-promoting hormone. Chronically elevated insulin can stimulate cell proliferation, including potentially malignant cells. What about soy? This is where confusion often arises. Soy contains isoflavones, plant phytoestrogens. For years, there was concern that soy might feed estrogen-sensitive breast cancers. But the evidence tells a very different story. Whole soy foods like edamame, tofu, and tempeh are associated with reduced breast cancer risk and lower recurrence rates. Isoflavones appear to have a modulating effect, binding to estrogen receptors in a way that produces weaker activity than the body's own estrogen. In populations consuming traditional soy foods regularly, breast cancer rates are historically lower. The key is whole soy foods, not highly processed soy supplements. Green tea also deserves a mention. Rich in catechins, particularly EGCG, green tea has been studied for its anti-cancer properties. These compounds may inhibit tumor growth, reduce oxidative stress, and support cellular repair mechanisms. While green tea alone is not a magic bullet, it can be part of a comprehensive dietary pattern that supports long-term health. Now let's flip the script and talk about what to limit. Processed meats, high saturated fat intake, and alcohol have all been associated with increased breast cancer risk. Alcohol, even in moderate amounts, can raise estrogen levels and increase oxidative stress. For women over 50, reducing or eliminating alcohol may be one of the most impactful dietary changes. Dairy is another area of ongoing research. Some studies suggest higher intake of certain dairy products may be linked to increased breast cancer risk, potentially due to naturally occurring hormones in milk. Plant-based alternatives may offer similar calcium and protein benefits without those concerns. But here's the bigger picture. It's not about one superfood. It's about dietary patterns. A dietary pattern centered on whole plant foods, vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds appears to consistently correlate with lower cancer risk. These foods work together. Their compounds interact synergistically. You can't isolate one pill and expect the same effect. And this isn't about perfection. Even small shifts, adding a serving of greens daily, replacing refined grains with whole grains, incorporating flax seeds into breakfast, can accumulate over time. The body responds to consistent, positive input. After 50, prevention becomes proactive. Screenings matter. Physical activity matters. Sleep matters. But food is something we choose multiple times a day. Each meal is an opportunity to either promote inflammation and hormonal imbalance, or to support detoxification, stable blood sugar, and cellular resilience. Breast cancer prevention isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. The evidence suggests that what we eat can influence hormone levels, inflammation, oxidative stress, insulin signaling, and body weight, all of which play critical roles in cancer development. And the beauty of it, these same foods that may reduce breast cancer risk also support heart health, brain function, and longevity. So instead of asking, what do I have to give up? Maybe we ask, what powerful foods can I add? Because prevention doesn't start in the pharmacy. It starts in the produce aisle. After menopause, a woman's primary source of estrogen shifts from the ovaries to body fat. That means circulating estrogen levels are now more influenced by lifestyle factors, especially diet and body composition. Elevated estrogen levels are strongly associated with increased risk of hormone receptor-positive breast cancer, which becomes more common after age 50. This is where fiber plays a powerful and often overlooked role. Fiber doesn't just help keep digestion regular. It acts almost like a natural estrogen regulator. When estrogen is processed by the liver, it's sent into the digestive tract to be eliminated. But without enough fiber present, some of that estrogen can be reabsorbed back into the bloodstream, a process known as enterohepatic circulation. In other words, instead of leaving the body, it gets recycled. High-fiber foods such as beans, lentils, chickpeas, whole grains, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds bind to estrogen in the intestines and help carry it out of the body through regular bowel movements. The result: lower circulating estrogen levels. Studies consistently show that women who consume higher amounts of dietary fiber tend to have lower blood estrogen concentrations compared to women eating low fiber diets. Even modest increases in daily fiber intake can produce measurable hormonal improvements. Fiber also improves insulin sensitivity and helps reduce body fat accumulation. That matters because insulin is a growth promoting hormone, and excess body fat itself produces additional estrogen. By stabilizing blood sugar and supporting a healthy weight, fiber indirectly reduces multiple breast cancer risk factors at once. In short, fiber works on several fronts, lowering estrogen recycling, reducing inflammation, improving metabolic health, and supporting weight management. And the beauty is that it comes packaged naturally in whole plant foods, no supplements required. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, cabbage, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts contain a unique class of sulfur containing compounds called glucosinolates. When these vegetables are chopped, chewed, or digested, glucosinolates are converted into biologically active compounds such as sulforaphane and indole-3 carbinol. These natural substances play a powerful role in how the body processes and eliminates estrogen, a key factor in postmenopausal breast cancer risk. Estrogen itself isn't the problem, it's how it's metabolized. In the liver, estrogen can be broken down into different metabolites, some considered more protective, others potentially more harmful because they may stimulate breast cell proliferation. Cruciferous vegetables help shift estrogen metabolism toward the production of more favorable, less proliferative metabolites. In simple terms, they help the body process hormones in a safer direction. Sulforaphane, found abundantly in broccoli, and especially broccoli sprouts, also activates phase 2 detoxification enzymes in the liver. These enzymes enhance the body's ability to neutralize and eliminate carcinogens and excess hormones. It's not about detox in a trendy sense, it's about supporting well-established biochemical pathways that regulate hormone balance and cellular protection. In addition, cruciferous vegetables contain antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that reduce oxidative stress, a contributor to DNA damage and cancer development. They may also influence gene expression in ways that support tumor suppression and slow abnormal cell growth. The impact appears dose-dependent, meaning regular consumption matters. Even one serving daily has been associated with measurable improvements in estrogen metabolism markers. Lightly steaming these vegetables preserves their beneficial compounds while improving digestibility. Incorporating cruciferous vegetables consistently into meals is a simple, evidence-based strategy to support hormonal balance and enhance the body's natural protective systems after 50. Ground flax seeds are one of the richest dietary sources of lignans, a class of phytoestrogens that have attracted significant attention in breast cancer research. Lignans are converted by gut bacteria into enterolactone and enterodiol, compounds that circulate in the bloodstream and exert mild estrogen-like effects. But here's the key: their activity is far weaker than the body's own estrogen. In postmenopausal women, where even small elevations in circulating estrogen can increase breast cancer risk, this mild activity may actually be protective. Lignans can bind to estrogen receptors in breast tissue, essentially competing with stronger endogenous estrogens. By occupying these receptor sites, They may reduce the overall stimulatory effect on breast cells. Think of it as turning down the hormonal volume. Instead of powerful signals driving cell proliferation, weaker plant-based signals take their place. Clinical studies have shown promising findings. In women newly diagnosed with breast cancer, supplementation with ground flaxseed has been associated with reductions in tumor cell proliferation markers such as Ki67, which reflects how quickly cancer cells are dividing. Some research has also observed increases in apoptosis, the process of programmed cell death, within tumor tissue. These biological changes suggest flaxseed may influence tumor behavior at the cellular level. Beyond receptor effects, flax seeds also support healthier estrogen metabolism and provide fiber, which helps eliminate excess hormones through the digestive tract. They are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fat that may help reduce inflammation. It's important that flax seeds are consumed ground, not whole, to ensure proper absorption of lignans. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons daily, added to oatmeal, smoothies, or salads, may offer measurable hormonal benefits as part of an overall plant-centered dietary pattern. Tofu, tempeh, and edamame are whole soy foods rich in naturally occurring compounds called isoflavones, a type of phytoestrogen. The word phytoestrogen often causes confusion, especially for women concerned about hormone-sensitive breast cancer. But phytoestrogens are not the same as human estrogen. In fact, they are structurally similar yet much weaker, and that difference is precisely what may make them protective after menopause. Isoflavones such as genistein and daidzein can bind to estrogen receptors in the body. However, their estrogenic effect is significantly milder than the body's own estradiol. In postmenopausal women, where estrogen levels are lower but still influential in breast cancer risk, these plant compounds may act as natural modulators. By occupying estrogen receptors, they can block stronger endogenous estrogens from binding and overstimulating breast tissue. Research consistently shows that women who consume traditional whole soy foods have lower rates of breast cancer and, importantly, lower recurrence rates among survivors. This protective association appears strongest when soy intake begins earlier in life, but benefits are still observed when consumption starts later. Clinical studies suggest soy does not increase tumor growth and may improve survival outcomes. Beyond receptor activity, soy foods are rich in fiber, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds. They support metabolic health, improve cholesterol levels, and may help maintain a healthy body weight, all factors that influence cancer risk after 50. The key distinction is whole soy foods versus highly processed supplements. Edamame tofu, tempeh, and soy milk provide a balanced matrix of nutrients working together. Incorporated regularly into meals, these foods offer a safe, evidence-based way to support hormonal balance and potentially reduce breast cancer risk. After menopause, the ovaries dramatically reduce estrogen production. But estrogen doesn't disappear. Instead, body fat becomes the primary site of estrogen synthesis through the activity of an enzyme called aromatase, which converts androgens into estrogen. The more adipose tissue present, the more estrogen can be produced. This matters because prolonged exposure to higher circulating estrogen levels is strongly associated with an increased risk of hormone receptor positive breast cancer, the most common type diagnosed after age 50. Fat tissue is not just passive storage, it is metabolically active. It releases inflammatory cytokines and growth factors that can promote cellular proliferation and create an environment favorable to tumor development. Excess weight is also linked to insulin resistance. Elevated insulin levels act as growth signals in the body, potentially stimulating cancer cell growth. So, body fat influences risk not only through estrogen production, but also through inflammation and metabolic disruption. Alcohol compounds this issue. Even moderate alcohol consumption has been shown to increase circulating estrogen levels. Alcohol may also impair the liver's ability to properly metabolize and eliminate estrogen, leading to higher hormone exposure over time. Additionally, alcohol generates acetaldehyde, a known carcinogen, and increases oxidative stress, contributing to DNA damage. The relationship appears dose-dependent. The more alcohol consumed, the higher the risk. For postmenopausal women, even one drink per day has been associated with measurable increases in breast cancer risk. Maintaining a healthy weight through regular physical activity and a diet centered on whole plant foods can help lower estrogen production, reduce inflammation, and improve insulin sensitivity. Limiting or eliminating alcohol removes an additional hormonal and carcinogenic burden. Together, these lifestyle choices significantly reduce modifiable risk factors after 50.